right, welcome. Today we're going to decode the secret language that powers the world's most advanced semiconductor factories. It's a communication protocol called SECS2, and honestly, if you want to understand the future of manufacturing, you got to understand this. So let's dive in and see how this language of smart factories really works.
So just picture a massive semiconductor fab for a second. You've got literally thousands of these incredibly complex machines, and they all have to work together perfectly. So how do they talk to each other? How does one central computer command and control every single little step with, pinpoint accuracy? That's the huge problem that needed a really brilliant solution.
Because before a powerful standard came along, the whole scene was just pure chaos. In the world of industrial controllers, you had over 120 different companies, each one pushing their own system. That led to hundreds of competing communication protocols. It was basically the industrial version of the Tower of Babel. You desperately needed a single, unified language to bring some order to all that noise.
And that solution is SECS. It stands for Semiconductor Equipment Communication Standard. Specifically, we're talking about its most dominant version, SECS2. And just so you know, when we say SECS today, we're pretty much always talking about this powerful second generation. Think of it as the ultimate high-precision language built for a place where there is absolutely zero room for error.
But here's the thing. SECS2 isn't just another boring, rigid standard. Its true power, the real magic, the secret sauce, is just how incredibly flexible it is. And that's what we're going to break down right now.
Okay, so the best way to get your head around SECS is to stop thinking of it as a rigid list of commands. Instead, think of it more like a structured conversation that happens between the main computer, the host, and all the equipment out on the factory floor.
And any good conversation has a couple of key parts, right? First, you've got the stream. That's the general topic you're talking about. Are we talking about the machine status? Or maybe we're dealing with an alarm. Then you have the function. That's the specific thing you're doing, like asking a direct question or giving a command. That simple combo of topic and action is what makes it so incredibly powerful.
And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. See, unlike a lot of other protocols that are really fixed, SES is elastic. It can be expanded. It allows for this dynamic, event-triggered communication. It's kind of like a scripted dialogue where the conversation can actually change based on what's happening in real time.
Okay, so that's the theory, right? Now let's see how this stuff actually works in practice. We're going to look at some of the most important conversation topics, or streams, to see how they give you total control over that factory floor.
We're going to focus on these four big ones. Stream 1 is all about checking up on the equipment status. Stream 2 is for direct control. Stream 5, that's for handling alarms. And Stream 6, which is just incredibly powerful, is all about flexible data collection.
Okay, first up, Stream 1. You can think of this as the host's way of tapping a machine on the shoulder and just asking, hey, what's your current status? It is the absolute foundation of monitoring anything.
But here's the thing. It's way smarter than just a simple check-in. Using different functions, the host can ask for the machine's model and its software version, which is super important for compatibility. It can order the machine to go online or offline. And here's where that flexibility we were talking about really becomes obvious. The host can ask for only the specific data it needs at that exact moment, whether that's temperature or pressure or pretty much any other variable you can think of.
All right, next up is Stream 2. This is where we stop asking questions and start giving direct orders. This is the equipment control part of the conversation, where the host really acts like the factory's central nervous system.
And here's the really cool part. It's not just a dumb start or stop command. Using a function like S2F41, the host can send the start command and, in the very same message, tell it how to start. For example, it can say, start now, and by the way, use recipe alpha for this job. That level of precise remote control is what makes automation on this massive scale even possible.
Of course, in a factory this complex, things are going to go wrong. That's where Stream 5 comes in. This is the alarm handling conversation, and it is absolutely critical for keeping things safe and figuring out what went wrong. So when a machine reports an alarm, it doesn't just scream, help. It gives you a ton of useful data, a unique ID for that specific problem, a severity code to tell you if it's a critical failure or just a little warning, and even descriptive text. That detailed report is just priceless for engineers who are trying to figure out the root cause and make sure it never happens again.
And now we get to Stream 6. And honestly, this might be one of the most powerful, most sophisticated features in the entire protocol. This is all about dynamic, super flexible data collection.
This is where that whole scripted dialogue idea really comes to life.
The host can tell a machine, hey, I want to define a new event. Let's call it lot complete. Now, whenever that event happens, I want you to automatically send me a report, but I only want two things in it, the lot size and the lot name. And from then on, the machine just does it, automatically. No one has to ask again. That kind of dynamic, event-based reporting is the absolute peak of efficiency and flexibility.
So, okay, we've walked through how SCCSI handles everything from a basic status check to this super complex dynamic data collection. But let's zoom out. Why does this intricate, flexible language matter so much? Well, for starters, this stuff is incredibly valuable. A single license connection for just one SDS-enabled machine can cost tens of thousands of new Taiwan dollars. I mean, that's many, many times more expensive than other protocols. That price tag really reflects the immense complexity and power that this standard gives you.
And what do you get for that cost? It boils down to this: complete control and total visibility. SECS isn't just about shuffling data back and forth. It's about creating a perfectly orchestrated, deeply understood manufacturing process, one where our central host has this granular level of command and a comprehensive real-time view of the entire factory floor.
You know, this whole thing was born in the crazy, hyper-precise world of semiconductors, but as we move forward, it leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. What happens when other industries, from pharmaceuticals to aerospace, start demanding this same exact level of digital control and visibility? The language of the smart factory might just be spoken everywhere, and very soon.